Retirement's a huge change in life for most people, and particularly after probably many decades of not having any really big major changes in your life. When we're young, we have lots of changes. We start a career, we form a relationship, we might have kids and buy a house and things like that. But when we retire, we haven't had any of those big, really major changes for a long time. And I think it's important to realise this and to be prepared for it. And one of the big changes that quite often people make when they retire is to consider living in a different country. And I want to talk today about 5 reasons that I think it's a really good idea to retire in Northern Thailand. I've been living here for 24 years. I've not been retired for that long, but it's just a fantastic place to be, particularly for older people that want to relax and wind down and maybe pick up a creative activity, some artistic expression or a new hobby, to start a garden or to develop a garden or to build a woodworking shop or to do one of other things that you might be enjoying. Bird watching is extremely popular up on the mountain here. There's so many things that you can do, but you've got to have a good sort of a living situation and a comfortable place to be when you retire, and I think Northern Thailand is just that. And one of the main reasons is that the climate here is really lovely. It doesn't ever get really cold, and I'm not a fan of the cold. I'm not a fan of having to dress up in layers and layers of clothes just to get outside the door in a day. I'd rather the opposite, and we've got that in Northern Thailand. We get a cool season here where it gets a bit chilly and we're going to be putting a jersey or a jacket on sometimes, and you'd get the other extreme where it's going to be really hot for a few months every year, but I'd much rather deal with that heat than deal with the freezing cold. So the climate here is really fantastic, and the rainy season is just so enjoyable. Most tourists miss the rainy season, but I think it's one of the best times of the year when everything's growing and it's so lush and green and fresh and wonderful. The second big thing here is that healthcare is really affordable and extremely good. There are so many good hospitals in Chiang Mai now, and there's also a range. So if you want to go to the best hospital, sure, you're going to be paying a premium price for anything there, but you can shop around. I had a friend who recently had to have a hospital visit for something, and he shopped around and found a very good hospital with a much more competitive price. It was over 3 times cheaper than one of the major, very new hospitals, but he said he got the fabulous service. It was absolutely first class. And so, yeah, you've got these options. And even out here in a rural area where we live, the hospital in town's really good. There's also little clinics, and so it's very easy to get access to good healthcare. And there's plenty of pharmacies in town for any pharmaceuticals that we might need to buy or to top up on and things like that. And the third thing that's kind of related to healthcare is the access to good whole food. We can buy good fresh fruit and vegetables at the markets every day. Often it's locally produced, so it's not being picked early and shipped in. We're getting really good quality food, and then we can buy good fish and pork and chicken and even beef now locally. That is such good food. So this is a huge contrast to, I know these days a lot of people living in cities, it's very difficult and very expensive to get whole food, but yeah, we can buy kilos of fruit here for a few dollars, and it's just fantastic. It's really, really great to have that access to good whole food and to look after our bodies so that we don't need to make so much use of a good healthcare system. And the fourth thing here that is really good is the infrastructure. We have guests coming to our homestay from Chiang Mai and from around the country frequently, and it's never difficult for them to get here. The roads are really good. The internet infrastructure here, whether you're on your mobile or whether you're plugged in or using the Wi-Fi, is excellent. And as is the water supply, we have very, very good water supply here. Even though we're living rurally, we've got a number of different options for good, clean water. And of course, electricity is a must. And the electricity connection here is very, very stable now. it is comparative to what we had in Chiang Mai. The electricity drops out occasionally, but not very often, and it's usually not for very long. So yeah, the infrastructure is exceptional. The fifth thing, and I think probably for me the most endearing and the most important that I love the most, is the culture here in the north of Thailand, in the Lanna kingdom of Thailand, the old Lanna kingdom. The people are generally more chill and more relaxed the further north you go. And up here in the north, yeah, it's wonderful. People are smiley, they're kind, they will engage in pleasant conversation, and it's really easy to get along. You just need to smile and you'll get a smile back. The chill, relaxed, non-confrontational aspects of living here are really delightful. And for older people, yeah, the wrinkles on your face and the greyness in your hair will just garner an extra level of respect, because in the Thai culture, it respects the Thai people respect their elders and respect older people. So that's just a given. It's something that is just, yeah, a really delightful part of being in the Thai culture when you're getting a bit older. And it's also very safe to live here because the people are so relaxed and so chill that it's just, yeah, everybody's looking out for each other, and there's not a lot of aggression. People don't show anger. People don't get upset here very easily, because that, if you do, you lose face, and this is something that people like to avoid. So retiring here is really something that you can look at as a brand new start to the later part of your life rather than winding down. And yeah, a lot of studies show that it's really important for people when we retire is to have something to do, something that we can really engage in to occupy ourselves as fully as possible. And for me, if you've watched many of my videos, you know, I'm quite often talking about creativity and gardening, and both of these things here are absolutely fantastic things to engage in when you're getting a bit older in life. The gardening is just wonderful, being out in the fresh air, and it's really good physical activity. But if you're wanting to engage in any kind of creative artistic expression, then yeah, there's so much opportunity for that here as well. And even if you think you're not creative, even if you don't think you've got any creative talent, I think you do. I believe you do. I believe that we're all born with creative talents, that we're created to be creative. And when you retire, I think it's a great time to engage in some creative activity. And if you're not sure about how to do this or what your talent might be, check out this video next. I think you'll find it really interesting. And thanks very much for watching this fun all the way through.